What happens when kindness collides head-on with cruelty, and survival demands choices that blur the line between hero and monster? Fallout Season 2, Episode 3, The Profligate, is where the Wasteland finally stops setting the table and starts breaking bones. Lucy's optimism is pushed to its absolute limit. The Ghoul is forced to confront whether there's anything left of Cooper Howard inside him, and Maximus makes a decision that could ignite a brand new war. Welcome back to your nerdy show. I'm your host, Spoiler Master, and today we're breaking down everything that happened in Fallout Season 2, Episode 3, explaining the hidden meanings, the brutal twists, and why this episode quietly changes the future of the entire series.
I think you might be a ghoul.
Thaddeus and the Cost of Survival. The episode opens with a reminder that Fallout's world doesn't need villains twirling mustaches to be horrifying. Thaddeus returns, and he's clearly mid-transformation into a ghoul, his body reflecting everything he's endured. He's now running a warehouse staffed by children, all forced into brutal 22-hour shifts collecting bottle caps, the Wasteland's most enduring currency. Some of these kids are ghouls, some are human, and the casual way this distinction is treated makes it even more unsettling. Thaddeus, bizarrely, seems content. He's free of the Brotherhood of Steel, free of their rigid hierarchy and dogma, and in his own warped way, he thinks he's doing okay. What makes this opening so effective is how Fallout frames moral compromise. Thaddeus is exploiting child labor, yet he's oddly gentle with them. He encourages them, protects them when he can, and genuinely believes things could be worse. Their grim motto, "Most kids are dead by this age," sums up the logic of the Wasteland perfectly. Survival becomes the only measurable success, and morality bends around it. Thaddeus isn't portrayed as evil so much as tragically adjusted to a broken system, setting the tone for an episode that constantly asks whether survival alone is enough.
Do you mean Caesar?
Lucy's storyline drops her into one of the most brutal environments Fallout has shown so far. The Legion. Stripped of any illusion of order or honor, this version of the Legion is savage, chaotic, and deeply hypocritical. Lucy is marched through scenes of torture and humiliation, people being whipped, teeth being pulled, violence treated as spectacle. She's still trying to do good, still trying to help, and that instinct immediately gets punished. The woman Lucy was escorting is executed without hesitation, her throat slit in a moment that makes Lucy's entire journey feel pointless. When Lucy is brought before Lacerda Legate and the man calling himself Caesar, the cracks in the Legion's identity become obvious. They mispronounce Caesar's name, misunderstand Roman traditions, and twist history into whatever justifies their cruelty. The demand for Prima Noctis, followed by Lucy matter-of-factly explaining that she's not a virgin, is darkly comedic, but also deeply disturbing. It shows how power in the Legion is built not on ideology, but on domination and fear. The revelation that the Legion is in the middle of a civil war is crucial. The original Caesar is dead, and the Legion is split between factions arguing over succession. The supposed proof of legitimacy, a written declaration of an heir, remains inaccessible because every attempt to retrieve it ends in gunfire. Lucy, ever the optimist, believes she can help resolve this conflict peacefully. Instead, she's tied to a crucifix, a punishment that represents the absolute rejection of her worldview. Lucy's confrontation with the Legate is one of the episode's thematic cores. She argues that if the Legion believes everyone else is evil, then maybe the Legion itself is the problem. The Legate's response is chillingly pragmatic. Good is not a meaningful vector in history, only strength. This line encapsulates the Legion's philosophy and directly challenges Lucy's belief that kindness and cooperation can survive in the Wasteland. It's the moment where Lucy's idealism hits its hardest wall.
Been a while since I had someone worth talking.
The Ghoul, Pain, and the Ship of Theseus. Back at the hospital, the Ghoul is suffering, carving rad scorpion venom out of his own body in a scene that's as grotesque as it is intimate. Dogmeat's presence humanizes him in a way no dialogue ever could. As he works, the Ghoul muses about the Ship of Theseus paradox, questioning whether something that has been entirely replaced piece by piece is still the same thing. This isn't idle philosophy. It's the Ghoul questioning himself. After centuries of violence, loss, and moral erosion, is Cooper Howard still in there, or is he something entirely new? His brief moment of tenderness toward Dogmeat, admitting it's been a long time since he's had someone worth talking to, is a quiet but powerful beat. It signals that despite everything, the Ghoul isn't completely hollowed out. That question of identity carries directly into the flashbacks of Cooper Howard's pre-war life.
Everyone trying to solve the same problem at the same time with a multitude of solutions.
Cooper and his wife Barb packing keepsakes for the vault is heavy with dread. They both know the bombs are coming. Barb's grief over what she'll have to leave behind contrasts sharply with Cooper's desperate hope that maybe things won't go that far. This is the last moment of normalcy before everything breaks. At the American Legion fundraiser, the episode connects Cooper's personal story to the larger political rot of the pre-war world. Cooper learns about Robert House's weapons system in Vegas and mentions that Moldover wants House dead. His hesitation shows that even then, Cooper wasn't comfortable with the idea that killing one man could be justified as a solution. Charlie's response, that most of the men in that room have already killed someone, reframes murder as civic duty rather than moral failure. The encounter with the man who resembles Robert House in the bathroom is loaded with subtext. The man's calm rhetoric about sympathizing with the disillusioned, about backing people into corners until they do terrible things, feels like a blueprint for the apocalypse itself. Cooper recognizes the danger in this thinking, but he's also surrounded by it, slowly being boxed in by a system that treats mass death as an acceptable outcome. Charlie's speech about hope, sacrifice, and betting on the right side of history directly influences Cooper's eventual decision to kill House. The lighter Charlie gives him becomes a physical symbol of that choice, a reminder that heroism and atrocity can be separated only by perspective. In the present, the Ghoul tracks Lucy to the Legion and quickly realizes he's walked into a civil war. Instead of charging in, he pivots, choosing strategy over impulse. His visit to the abandoned NCR outpost is one of the episode's most melancholic sequences. The signs of the new California Republic, once a symbol of rebuilding and governance, now feel like relics of a failed dream. Victor, the robot, with his scrambled memory and lonely demeanor, embodies the NCR's fate. His comments about Robert House wanting immortality, about needing cold fusion, and about the Ghoul's involvement in those old plans tie the personal and political threads together. The Ghoul isn't just a survivor of history, he's one of its architects. Meeting Rodriguez and Biff, the last remnants of the NCR, drives the point home. These soldiers have been isolated for over a decade, abandoned by the nation they served. Biff's mental deterioration and Rodriguez's weary resolve paint a bleak picture of what happens when ideals outlive the structures meant to support them. When the Ghoul says that if something is dead, it probably deserved to die, it sounds cruel, but it also sounds like someone who's watched hope fail too many times.
Maybe something stupid.
Betrayal, explosions, and a flicker of redemption. The Ghoul's decision to trade the NCR's location to the Legion in exchange for Lucy is one of the episode's most morally complex choices. On the surface, it's ruthless pragmatism. He's sacrificing the last holdouts of a once great republic to save one person. But the ending reframes this choice entirely. As Lucy is cut down from the crucifix and the Legion celebrates, the Ghoul notices the massive cachet of dynamite. The flashback to Charlie's speech about doing bad things for the right reasons overlaps with the present, drawing a direct line between Cooper's past decisions and the Ghoul's current one. When the dynamite explodes, igniting the Legion's civil war, it becomes clear that the Ghoul never intended to simply hand over the NCR. This act doesn't redeem him completely, but it does show that some part of Cooper Howard still believes in tipping the scales, even if it means manipulating monsters to destroy themselves. The lighter in his hand becomes a symbol of unresolved guilt and lingering hope, proof that the ship of Theseus might still be the same ship after all. Maximus chooses his own path. Maximus's storyline provides a different angle on power and belief. At Area 51, the Brotherhood of Steel teeters on the edge of internal collapse. Elder Cleric Quintus's speech about Roger Maxon frames the Brotherhood as a righteous rebellion, born from moral clarity. But his words ring hollow when contrasted with the Brotherhood's current obsession with control and relics. Maximus's suggestion to simply kill Paladin Xander Harkness reveals how deeply the Brotherhood's logic has infected him. Quintus's dismissal of the idea, paired with his cryptic, "Behold the dimness of the sword," exposes the hypocrisy at the heart of their leadership. They preach righteousness, but fear decisive action unless it serves their authority. Harkness, in contrast, represents a version of the Brotherhood rooted in practicality and shared sacrifice. His conversations with Maximus are the first time Maximus feels truly seen. When they hunt together, laughing and fighting side by side, it's the closest Maximus has come to belonging. That makes the warehouse confrontation devastating. Faced with Harkness's willingness to execute Ghoul children, Maximus finally breaks. His choice to kill Harkness isn't just about saving the kids, it's about rejecting a system that demands obedience over conscience. In that moment, Maximus stops being a tool of the Brotherhood and becomes his own person, even though he knows the cost may be catastrophic. War never changes, but people might. The Profligate works because it refuses easy answers. Lucy's kindness is tested and scarred, but not erased. The Ghoul proves that cynicism doesn't always mean apathy. Maximus learns that loyalty without morality is just another form of tyranny. The episode may feel like a side quest at times, but thematically, it's a turning point. By intertwining absurdity, brutality, and introspection, Fallout Season 2 Episode 3 deepens its world and its characters. The Wasteland remains cruel and unforgiving, but within it, people still make choices that matter. War may never change, but the individuals caught in it still can, and that fragile possibility is what keeps Fallout compelling. Our nerdy thoughts. And that's what makes The Profligate such a turning point for Fallout Season 2. Lucy learns that kindness alone won't save everyone. The Ghoul proves there's still a spark of humanity buried beneath centuries of bloodshed, and Maximus crosses a line that can never be uncrossed. Every choice in this episode sets off consequences that will ripple through the Wasteland, pushing these characters toward an even darker and more dangerous future. If war never changes, the people fighting it just might, and that's what makes the road ahead so unpredictable. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time as we dive even deeper into the chaos of the Fallout universe.
Manager here. So it sounds like we both got a lot going on right now.
No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.